Hey, man, it's a win. It's a win. All right? I went into it like a lot of people, man. Find a way to win a game. What was the word I said last week, Ryan? UGLY, make it ugly. They kind of did at times. And you got the win over Jacksonville. That's all you needed to do. We saw the little improvement there from Deshaun Watson. Again, the small steps is all that we need. Defense showed up when you needed to. Injury bug bites again, unfortunately. But the Browns in a pivotal, what I call must-win game, especially seeing what happened to Baltimore and Cincinnati. You needed it. You got it. You found a way to get it done. And Ryan, there was one thing that you wanted to ask me, and it was about just one throw that I needed to see from Deshaun Watson to give himself some confidence, to open some things up. I saw that throw. I'm going to tell you what it was. Certainly a lot of things to clean up, but you got the win. You got out to Schneid. I know it was only 1 week. You got back in the action, and you now turn yourself to a stretch of games where you got to keep this rolling now. You wake up, you feel good about it. There's a lot to correct. You got the hapless Giants coming into town, but we got a lot to recap from that game yesterday. We go around the league. We got the morning update. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll get to all of it. Guards! Finish it off a great weekend, too. And we got it on multiple fronts of a beautiful Victory Monday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. Hey, is Ryan Tyler. Nice job, Browns, guards. Excellent weekend here on the North Coast. You got it done. And there were so many things about that game. Was going to come back to Deshaun Watson, how he played. That was not a world beater, 6-touchdown game. There were things I saw from Deshaun Watson winning plays. Now, there were some mistakes, not taking that sack later, which we'll talk about. Kevin Stefanski was in his bag, man. That first half, you saw something that I talked a lot about, treating Deshaun Watson almost like a rookie quarterback. And there were so many people that took that in a negative light. And they go, you can't do that. He's $230 million. You can't do that. That was a game. Ryan, what did they do? They schemed that game up to have Deshaun Watson just play a role, do a job. I didn't need him to do everything. The offense was vast. How many guys? You had Nick Harris who tripped on that one. He was motioning back, and he just straight trips over Wyatt Teller. But you had an offense, the 3x1s. You had 3 receivers that just all go different ways, wide open throws. Some of them I can be critical about being a little off on some guys, but they schemed that offense up, especially in that first half, that they were going to protect and help Deshaun Watson. And those were things that I needed to see as we start to go into this season. I wanted them to start it slow with him. And I guess you couldn't do that so much against Dallas. You had to go out there and try to throw on. That didn't happen. But yesterday, the Browns were in control of that game. And when I do look at Jacksonville, I know Trevor Lawrence said this after the game. I kind of believe him. They suck. They suck. They did not play good football yesterday. I don't care. I really don't. You got to win over an AFC team that I thought might be competing for the playoffs. I don't know so much about that. But that was a game that the Browns looked in control. The time of possession, which was what, 22-10 or something like that at one point in the game, you dominated the time of possession. You ran it a little bit more. Deontay Foreman sitting there enjoying my garage beer yesterday. Oh, boy. Garage beer outdoors yesterday while having a Browns TV on at my nephew's birthday party. Chef's kiss, buddy. Woo! Perfect. Sitting there watching, I'm looking at my brother-in-law. He goes, is that Deontay Foreman? And I was like, yeah, they're running him a lot. And Ford sprinkled in there a little bit. But even some of the throws that you saw early from Deshaun Watson, it was guys that were schemed open. They beat their guy. They had a setup where, I don't want to say it was unbeatable for Jacksonville, but you saw Kevin Stefanski's play calling on point to make things easy for Deshaun Watson. And then eventually, as the game went on, you saw some of the throws that you want to see from Deshaun Watson, and we're getting there. yesterday for me was just another chip on the block. You know, if we're sitting there and we're just chipping away and we're pounding away here, just trying to get back to a level of an above average quarterback. We're not there yet. I would not look at yesterday's game and say that he even played to an above average level. That's fine. As long as we're moving forward, as long as we're taking the steps, that's all I'm going to ask for right now. Now, the difference is we did win the football game. We'd be singing a much different tune today if things had gone bad on that stupid freaking free kick. Dude, that kickoff rule is atrocious. And yes, I know Dustin Hopkins crossed the line and it would have been a fumble for us. But as the weeks have gone on now, and I'm watching across the league like everybody else, and you're watching Sunday night, that kickoff rule is trash. And I'm not going to say that it's as bad as the runner on second in extra innings, and I blame Rob Manfred for that because that's the stupidest rule in sports right now that I hate. That kickoff rule is horrible. Where most teams are just kicking it through the end zone now. You get holding calls, so you're better off just kicking it through the end zone half the time. It's just, or not returning it, I should say. It's so bad. And yeah, it cost us, and there were some sloppy plays that we'll get to with the good, the bad, and the ugly later. But you're singing a tune because Deshaun Watson played a game, did not turn the football over, which is probably number one on Kevin Stefanski's list. And you played a game of him just being a game manager, couple of nice throws, and you get out of there with the win. Now, I want to say that to say this. I want that to continue, but I don't want him to go out against the, well, I do, but I don't expect him to go out the Giants and throw 5 touchdowns this Sunday. It's the slow brew. It's the chipping away at this block to get him back to the player that you need him to be, an above average quarterback. Now, all the other drama that came out with the Jay Glazer report right before the game, and then he had to go to Twitter to kind of correct himself on some of this situation with Deshaun Watson. So I want to read Jay Glazer's tweet from yesterday. So he got on the pregame, and he said that the Browns removed some protections in this restructure of Watson's deal. And everybody jumped on, okay, maybe they knew this other suit was coming or maybe something. And again, I'm not trying to take away from Victory Monday. This is just vitally important. So then Glazer got on Twitter and cleared it up. And he said, I think I screwed up how I explained Watson's contract this morning. There was a clause to protect him in 22 and 23, even in the case of a suspension. I said they took out those protections when they restructured his deal in August. But that was off as they didn't have that clause in the original deal for 24 and 26. So I guess the whole point is to say they just didn't add it. Right. And I would think just with, we're law experts on that. We are not. Please don't listen to that. We're not law experts on this show. We're not experts on really anything.
Still looking for a lawyer to bring on the show.
We'll find one. I saw Misney was hanging out with Reef Law. Get him,
Yeah, they went to Misneyland.
What's Misneyland?
It's Tim Misney's home, I guess. You'll see if you watch Big Play Cleveland show tonight.
Wait, Reflog went to Tim Misney's house?
Yeah, it's called Misneyland. So if you watch Big Play Cleveland, you'll see some footage there. Yeah.
Nice. I can't wait tonight. Big Play, follow us everywhere. That's awesome. So what it was, they didn't add these they didn't add it for this year, next year. What does that tell me, Ryan? When they set this deal up, they said, we are going to protect you for these first 2 years, and then we're back to normal, right? Well, what do we search for in all this? Just some freaking normalcy. Our quarterback is out there playing. You don't want to have to worry about suspensions, and it's also putting that on Deshaun Watson to not do these things again. Part of the reason the Browns traded for Deshaun Watson was a belief in their organization that he was not going to continue, allegedly, being the person that he was. And he saw the error of his ways, and he can change. So we'll put these in to start. But eventually, we want to get back to some normalcy. And that seems to be what this contract is. And you can go out there and play. And I think about it, again, of what the sliding scale is when it comes to Deshaun Watson. Because I understand that there are people that are always going to hang up with the lawsuit type of stuff. When you talk about just the football, we're still not there. Right? Yesterday was a step in the right direction. That cannot be the pinnacle of Deshaun Watson. That cannot be the pinnacle of what you want him to be for the rest of this season, for beyond this season. You have to continue to improving it better, but at least we're on that path. Now, again, you got to factor in these lawsuits. There still could be a suspension. You know, I had this conversation yesterday. What happens? He turns it around, he starts getting back to it, and then here comes the suspension. Well, that is the game that you played by signing Deshaun Watson and bringing him. The unfortunate thing is, I don't know if we'll ever get to a point that we're not worried about this stuff. I would like to believe that, and I think eventually we will. We're just not there yet as they continue to move forward. Yesterday was a step in the right direction. I know he had a lot of stuff going on in his life last week. Put that stuff aside, ready to go, get out there, played well. He was not the only one that played well yesterday, though, and that's our question this morning. At Matt Fontana Show, drop us a follow there on Twitter. We're up on Instagram. We're up on Twitch. And you can also follow us on the Big Play app, which is great. And, of course, YouTube at Matt Fontana Show. You know, it's funny. I got a DM from somebody yesterday. And, you know, somebody that listened to my prior stop. Like, where are you at now? And it's kind of funny, Ryan, that we've been doing this for over a year, but still, it's like it is new to people, the digital side of things. I was like, hey, I don't know if you know, we're doing a show here every day. Sonny goes, I'm watching every day now, so here we are. Twitter and YouTube is where we stream live every single morning, get the replays on the show. So our game ball for yesterday, you put up 4 options, and I think they're the right 4. Deshaun Watson, Jerry Jeudy, the D-line, or Dustin Hopkins and Corey Bjorquez. I know where you're going, Ryan.
I wanted to put Stefanski, but I kind of felt as though
he hands out the game ball. He doesn't get
right.
It.
He's
Sorry,
not. He
Kevin.
can't be a recipient. Although I thought he did a tremendous.
Let's talk about Stefanski for a second.
You
know, and again, I know the mistake late in the game. Can I get on the defense Stefanski train here for a second, please? So it was 3rd and 6. The play that Watson threw it when he was going down for the sack to run the timeout with about a minute and a half. What was it, like 3rd and 6, right? What I would imagine, and what you heard Kevin Stefanski say after the game was he was a little upset with Watson. I'm sure they radioed the call in. And it might have been a little red right 88 situation. Do you know what that play call was? Throw it in the lake if it's not open. And the interception was thrown. I'm sure Kevin Stefanski said, we're going to run this play. And if it's not there, just go down, okay? And Watson, whatever, threw it. Here's my defense on that. Ryan, you get the first down, the game's over.
Right.
And I understand he could have run the football, but on 6 yards to go, that would have been a tough ass to get, and you knew they were going to come after you. You ran a play to win the game, to completely end the game. I don't mind that. And even then, you were still in a good situation, especially if Watson just would have gone down and taken the sack. I liked that. I liked that play call of going for it because you had an opportunity. You see this in games all the time when a coach is sitting there and you're screaming, go for the jugular, end the game. You pick up the first down, the game is over. And if there was something wide open, bing, bang, boom, get on the plane, we won. Wasn't there. Watson made the mistake of throwing it. You still got the win. But I'll defend Stefanski on that play. Now, in the second half, here's what I really think happened with Kevin Stefanski. And I saw it a little bit more on the rewatch here. I saw what they were doing in the first half. And they were doing something that we had talked about. Go in slow. Don't put Watson in too many bad situations. And I think Jacksonville made some adjustments, right? You almost needed the Browns to elevate to like tier 2 of what they were trying to run on offense. I saw Jacksonville starting to figure out some of the things you wanted to do. Run game started getting stuffed. I think the line just started losing it a little bit. But in that first half, man, there were just some schemes, some play calls. Dude, that 4th down, when Ford just comes around, man, like, yes, big play employee. Jameis Winston picking up some first downs there in the win. But that play call, as soon as he turned in hand to Ford, and I looked to the bottom of my TV screen and I didn't see anybody there, I was like, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I was worried, but then I saw he had room. I was like, let's go.
And I was like, don't fumble. I was like, whatever you do, but he was going out of bounds anyway. That kind of stuff told me Stefanski was feeling it. Stefanski was feeling what he needed to pick up these, just, again, big plays, but also to not overload Deshaun Watson. So I like that Stefanski should be a part of this. He won't get the game ball because he hands him out. But I know, and again, he's Kevin Stefanski. There are people that are going to be critical every Monday, no matter what. But I got to tell you, I thought he A+ on his game. Again, if we were going to we didn't put him in there, but if you were going to give him a game ball, I could totally see giving him one because, Ryan, I think he deserved it. I thought he had a great game.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. I mean, Kevin Stefanski remains one of the best head coaches in the NFL of scripting opening drives, right? Those first 10 to 15 plays. He's always been good at that. You go back to last year. And then what I loved about that first drive, right? You saw some Ken Dorsey influence, I believe.
Good point, yeah.
The QB draw that we saw that ended in the end zone with Deshaun Watson. I think that was a very Josh Allen-esque play that I've seen run a lot. So I like that. You obviously had the 3 wideouts. And what were you doing? You were scheming guys open. You were getting Jerry Jeudy involved early. You're getting Elijah Moore involved early, which I thought was very important. He looked good.
Was that his best game as a Cleveland Brown? I think it was.
And, it makes you wonder, right?
And he didn't get in the end zone.
Is this a player where if you can truly script him open, then he's able to do things with the ball in his hands? And I think that's very important. And obviously, we'll talk about Amari Cooper. I know that. But right now, we're talking about good things. Kevin Stefanski had an amazing game, I thought. Ken Dorsey was awesome seeing him get hype on the sidelines when Elijah Moore caught that pass. That was awesome to see. And then Jerome Ford had a much better game. The O-line was much better, I thought. And it was nice to see Deonta Foreman get involved, who, by the way, every time Deonta Foreman touches the ball, it looks just like Kareem Hunt.
Well, he's 27 with the hair.
That's what I'm saying. Every time. Every time me and my buddies watching the game. Kareem Hunt.
Same here. And there was a more split. Obviously, what did Foreman have? Like 1 snap or 1 carry last week or whatever? So you see that about the committee of the running backs, which works a little bit there. You also talk about the scheme where they were going 5 wides, right? You didn't have David Njoku. You lose David Bell, which is just, that's a killer, man, with the dislocated hip there. We'll get to that in the bad and the ugly coming up. But you had to go 5 wide, and it looked okay. It looked pretty good. They were banged up in their secondary. They were missing some guys, and you took advantage of it. And the other thing, that game looked like a Kevin Stefanski game. And I think we can start saying that now as we are into, year 5, right? 2021, 2, 3. Wait, 2020, yeah. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is his 5th season we're entering here. And some of the great coaches, and I'm not trying to hit the gas on this thing and punch the accelerator, but you get where I'm going here. These good coaches, games that you're like, oh, that's a Sean McVay kind of game. That's an Andy Reid type of game. That's a Mike Tomlin type of game. That game looked a lot like a Kevin Stefanski game. It wasn't overly flashy on offense. You picked up first downs when needed. You dominated time of possession. You still have these GD penalties, man.
Yeah.
Still had them, but all right. That was like a branded game. That seemed like a Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns branded type of win. And I'm going to start saying he's not a second-year guy. They can sit there like, oh, this is how he wins games. He knows what he's freaking doing. And I'm going to continue to defend him. I'm a defender of his. I know people will be critical. I don't think they have much to stand on, right? And you want to get critical about one play here. Did anybody really complain about going forward or not in 4th down? I thought he was pretty on with that.
Yeah.
And, I always say they're going to do it, so just accept it and move on forward. Now we get to the players, though, that we got to vote. For our question this morning, at Matt Fontana Show, drops a follow on Twitter and X. Who gets your game ball? So obviously there's Watson, which I think he played well. Jerry Jeudy, man. It must have been the quarterbacks in Denver then. That must have been it. That looked like a guy that is a very solid number 2, eventually number 1 receiver. He was doing some things, had some catches that I really liked. I wanted one throw that I looked at Deshaun Watson and I go, You ever see Hook?
No.
Oh, gotta watch Hook. It's Peter Pan. Robin Williams plays Peter Pan who becomes an adult and he forgets that he's Peter Pan and he's got to go back to Neverland to save his kids from Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman plays Hook. Great film. There's a point where Peter is trying to become Peter Pan again. And he's got one of the lost boys. And he looks at him and he holds his face and he goes, there you are, Peter. That's the one throw that I needed from Deshaun Watson. Oh, there you are. That's sideline to Jerry Jeudy. Pressure, gets out of it, escapes. I think he's thrown it away, and he beat a defender that might have should have picked it off. And Jeudy tipped out of bounds. That was the throw for me. And that's one where I'm not asking him to go back in there and do that 4 more times, but a throw to unlock Deshaun Watson a little bit, for him to sit there and say, dude, I can still do this. We've discussed a lot about his confidence, his mental makeup coming into this season. I need him to get back out there to make throws where he can feel like he's an elite quarterback. You got to prove it to yourself sometimes. That is one of the things that we all face in life is self-doubt. You got to sometimes be proven you can do what you're setting out to do, that you are to the level that you want to be. That was my one throw. That was my one throw to Jerry Jeudy. He had some other really nice ones as well. Jerry Jeudy is up there. Next up for game ball consideration. That D-line was all over Trevor Lawrence. Strip sack from Miles. You get the safety, which was helped by pressure with Miles. But the freaking D tackle's getting in there making some plays, man. I loved it. And that is what? A Jim Schwartz type of game and a Jim Schwartz branded defense right there. That D-line was all over it, man. And that's, again, you were down Mo Hurst. You went out there. He was hurt. You had to rotate some other guys in. You finally, I think that was, I would say, the best D-line game I've seen from Jim Schwartz, because there was a couple last week. But you needed it. You needed it bad. And you had overall a great defensive effort there, specifically on the D-line for our question. Showed up, showed out.
Yeah, I mean, what have we talked about with Miles, right? It's this whole time we've been looking for a B to Miles' A, and whether that came from a defensive end and a Zadarius Smith, or even better, right, you get interior pressure.
Correct.
That's what you got last year. That's what you got yesterday. Yep. And that makes Miles' job easier, right? You saw on that when you got the pressure, Alex Wright ultimately got the safety. Quentin Jefferson had a huge sack. When you get that interior pressure, it just makes Miles' job so much easier, and it makes him a better player. Absolutely. As good as he already is.
To the specialist, when did Charlie Hewlett put a cowboy collar on? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He's got a cowboy collar on. Like, let's go, man.
What is a cowboy collar?
You don't know what a cowboy collar is?
No.
It's like a neck roll.
Like Barkevius Mingo used to wear?
Kind of. So there was multiple things. There was what's called a washboard, and that was just like a flat plastic board. Then there was like the traditional, so it was a neck roll. I wore one because I thought I was a badass. What it was meant to do was go kind of like under your helmet, and it stopped your helmet from doing this. Because like a lot of neck injuries, you can get hurt going like this. The bad neck injuries are when you get compression in your neck. So now we're going from lawyers to doctors on this. But a neck, like a cowboy collar, stops you from doing that. I just love it that he's our freaking long snapper and he's got a cowboy collar on. That aside, Corey Bojorquez with that punt and having Dustin Hopkins line up. Let's just bask in the glory for a second of not having to worry when your kicker lines up like you know it's going through, man. Specialists were on yesterday. The returns, I was questioning the Darden stuff, with moving Prochet up. And I thought he did fine, again, limited on the kickoffs and all that kind of stuff. Specialists in general, but especially Bojorquez and Dustin Hopkins, they deserve some love from yesterday, flipping the field, getting your points when you need it.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't pin him, who knows what happens? That doesn't lead to the safety. That makes him only need a field goal. I mean, that was just absolutely massive. Yeah. And like you said, Dustin Hopkins remains consistent. It's nice when you're lining up from 50 yards and you're not totally drenched in sweat, something we're not used to. And you go, look, what happened? The Jaguars chipped one, 30 yards out?
Yeah.
And that makes a difference when you got a kicker who can do it.
No, absolutely. And you're right. That changes how you're approaching offense, all that kind of stuff. All right, 'tis the time for us to cast our votes. Right, cast your vote. Who gets your game ball? Watson, Jeudy, D-line, Hopkins, or Bojorquez? I'll give you first vote this morning, bub.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go special teams, really, between Hopkins and Bojorquez. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I am a big Corey Bojorquez fan. I mean, he remains a field flipper. I mean, to pinpoint that, not only did it like roll, the backspin roll to the right.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do by any means. And that ultimately is what kind of sealed it. Obviously, the safety was more important, but you wouldn't have got that opportunity without that. So I'm giving the game ball to our special teams boys.
I like it very much. I'm going to go D-line. I
think it's between those two.
I really do. I think it was the D-line for me. Again, the offense was fine, but that game was won on defense. It was nobody cracked 20 points. There was a lot of defense to be played. D-line was in Trevor Lawrence's face, which was great. Does he suck? Do we need to have a conversation here about my Trevor Lawrence? I just made that word up. Is he not good? I saw some throws. Like, there were some guys that were open. There was the one on the sideline, and he threw it like 4 yards over his head. And I'm like, what are you doing? And again, trust me, I'm a Browns fan. I don't want them to win. But I'm just like, What happened to Trevor Lawrence, man?
I'm just not sure how to feel about Trevor Lawrence because I was a guy who had high expectations. Like when you drafted, when they drafted Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, this was a guy who in 2-3 years was supposed to compete with Mahomes, right? Like he's been the cat's rear end in high school, even right. Coming out, he's been the superstar, and you see like week 1, he had that amazing anticipation throw to Brian Thomas Jr. He just can't string it together. It seems like, and I'm not sure if it's a Doug Peterson thing. I don't think that's fair. I think he's a great coach. Obviously, an upgrade from Urban Meyer. I don't know how to feel about Trevor Lawrence.
Is an upgrade from Urban Meyer. Okay, as a professional coach.
To this point in his career, and on top of that, how much he got paid. How could you not consider him a bust, even though it's still early in his career?
Well, and he came out and he said, we suck right now. And I saw, again, I'm not qualifying this win. That was a hell of a win, and that's a team you thought was going to compete for the playoffs there. Jacksonville just looks discombobulated. Travis Etienne, who had a couple of nice runs, and of course Lawrence had to rip off that one nice run there. But there was not much going on from them. That was not much. And you took advantage of that, too. I think you really just kind of squeezed it out at times. And you sometimes got to do that. You put the ball in their court and go, if you're going to beat us, go ahead and beat us. But it's going to be on you. You're going to have to make a throw. You're going to have to do that. That's a dangerous game to play with like Patrick Mahomes and maybe even Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and some of the other quarterbacks in the AFC. Go ahead and put that on Trevor Lawrence. Go ahead. There were times, so we're going to put this on you, buddy. You want to win this game, you're going to have to come back down here, less than a minute, no timeouts. Come on down. Come on down. And he couldn't. And he couldn't get it done. So I loved the game plan against Jacksonville yesterday. One of the many things that we'll get to, Ron, we always do it on Mondays. We run through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, let's go. It's always better on a Victory Monday. Here's how it works right after the game. And I'll tell you this, I actually, through the game, I create a draft in my Twitter, and I just update it as things go. And I just throw things in, take it out, throw it in, take it out, throw it in, take it out. And we do what's called the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's all about the Browns here. And it's always a lot more good when you win. And let's start with the good. I put number 1, Kevin Stefanski play calling. And again, I got people that was saying, did you watch the second half? Yes, I did. And I saw some of the things in the second half. I don't want to say they got figured out, but I think a lot of what they put in place, because you got to remember, part of play calling is the chess match. I'm going to show you this now so I can take advantage of it later. Why did that Jerome Ford run on 4th down work? Because you brought Jameson. You already rushed for a first down with him. They're cramming the line, and whoop, 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 little Three Stooges action. Whoop, right behind. Chris Berman. Yeah, Berman. Whoop, right through. Whoop, first down. So it's that setup, and I do think there's some of the things that Stefanski did in the first half that helped set up the second half. And I would say overall, again, in totality, I thought Kevin Stefanski had a great game, so he was number 1 on my good list there, right?
Yes, and I considered him for the game ball, but I don't give game balls, imaginary game balls, to head coaches because why? They're the ones that give out the balls. But Kevin Stefanski, considering how we saw game 1 go, I thought it was a fantastic play calling performance out of him. I love that you saw some Ken Dorsey influence, and he did amazing.
A little deflated. Somebody call Brady.
Is Kevin Stefanski right now?
Is that signed by Josh?
Yeah, I think it is. The best head coach in scripting the first 10 plays of the game.
You know, I was sitting there, I'm like, this is signed by Josh. And I was like, I kind of want to get this. And in reality, we know Josh. I could just bring something in to have him sign. Yeah. I need something from Josh in my basement. Greg, I saw him giving away some giveaway. Here's your game ball for Kevin Stefanski.
There you go.
Right there for you. You can't really see it on the TV, but there you go. Kevin Stefanski, well done on his part. Number 2, I thought Deshaun Watson looked better. On my good list, Watson, incremental improvement. Yes. Saw some throws that you needed. I think gave him a little confidence boost, which you liked. But I thought Watson looked better. That was something that you needed to have on that side of the good, and it was. And it's rare, again, you win games and your quarterback looks like crap. That was a solid game from Deshaun Watson. The one thing, again, outside of the throws I'm talking about, don't you feel like his pocket presence was a little bit better yesterday?
I think
he took some sacks.
I think that was the biggest area of improvement.
But I saw the pocket presence. I saw him seeing the pressure, getting out on some of those plays. I didn't see him panicked.
Yes.
You know, in week 1, I saw him panicked. And there were times, even in the game last night watching Sunday Night Football, you saw, it's Caleb Williams, I know he's a rookie, but when they send 5 on you, or they send 6 and you don't got an extra blocker, You see quarterbacks, their clock moves up, and they start to panic. The best guys, the game slows down. And I saw little steps. I'm not saying we're there yet. Saw little steps of Watson having some better command of that, better command of the pocket, and the presence was there. One of the best things from that game yesterday.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest area of improvement for Deshaun from week 1 to week 2 was the pocket presence. You didn't see him scramble out of clean pockets, and when the pocket did collapse, you saw him be able to do what, you pay a $230 million quarterback to do, that's improvise and make a play when you don't think there's anything there. And
that's supposed to be one of the best things about him, right?
Right, and that's what makes a great quarterback great, right? These improvisers, these Patricks, these Lamars, these Joshes, that's what they do. I thought it was great. I thought he was decisive. He stood in there, made some great hard throws. And listen, what I wanted to see from him this week was just don't hurt the team. And he didn't do that. Zero turnovers. All things considered, was he perfect? No, but I'm looking at this with Deshaun a week-by-week basis right now. And from week 1 to week 2, the improvement was dramatic. Now we need him to get better, and I hope he will. But listen, we're not there yet. We're taking this thing slow with him.
Next up on the good for the Browns, good, the bad, and the ugly, Jerry Jeudy, 573, didn't get into the end zone. An average of 14.6 yards. Ryan, that's not even my favorite thing about Jerry Jeudy's stat line. It's that he was targeted 6 times and 5 grabs. I love that. We'll get to the bad coming up on another one. But that was 2 games. It's his best game as Cleveland Brown. But I see what they see. I see what they see, right? Paid, traded for. I think we got something there. That's 1 game. It's Victory Monday, and I'm feeling damn good, buddy. I see something there. I see it. And I just want, I was never one that was ripping Jerry Jeudy when he came here. I, like everybody, was like, I'm going to be wide open to this thing and see what we got here. I see it now. I see it. Trust in Andrew Berry, man. And again, he can't draft receivers. That's fine. I think they found one here in Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you can scheme Jerry Jeudy open, or not even need to scheme him open, but when you get the ball in his hands.
Well,
right?
what was the one thing?
Anyway. Right. What was the one thing that coming out of college, why he was first-round pedigree? I mean, he's a great receiver, but it was because of his route running, his ability to get open. I mean, people were talking about him being a top 5 route runner before he even stepped foot on an NFL field. You give him a competent quarterback, which Deshaun Watson was yesterday. He's going to do good things. And like you said, the 5 for 5, I think that's great. And then, like you said, that one sideline catch, I mean, that was great.
That was pretty.
And when you're considering all things, like as a wide receiver 2 right now, I understand Amari Cooper's struggling, but he's still the wide receiver 2 for right now, right? Probably had a better game yesterday than Elijah Moore did all season last year. I think that's a great improvement.
Absolutely. Next up, a guy we have not even mentioned his name, but he is very much on the good because he just makes plays. Jeremiah Owusu, Guardian Cap Koromoa. Let's go, man. Jock just last year, I think, is the vision that you have for Jeremiah. You take another step forward this year. I see him busting through, his speed, the tackles for loss, just the side-to-side movement. Jeremiah is the new version, new wave linebacker in today's NFL. We thought that when they drafted him. I know a lot of people said, he's here to be a Lamar stopper and things like that. But, man, I know he's paid. I'm happy he's paid. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had a fantastic game yesterday. Absolutely fantastic game yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I love seeing him play, like, every single snap. I mean, the emotion's there. You can tell he's communicating with the defense, and he's becoming a true leader, if not really already the leader of the Browns defense. Obviously, you got Miles, but the linebacker,
I love this theme, by the way.
I know, it's perfect for good, bad, and ugly, right? But yeah, JOK through these first 2 weeks has earned every penny of the contract we extended him with. He's been great. He seems to be making every single play, whether it's in coverage, which isn't maybe his strong suit, but you see what the vision is with him getting downfield. Jim Schwartz
downhill,
he's probably the perfect player right now for a Jim Schwartz scheme defense.
Next up on that Jim Schwartz defense, on the good D-line, everybody was contributing, right? I know Obo got hurt there for a second, but he was in there. Zadarius Smith, the D-line, specifically the D-tackles. We've talked a lot about them. Wrapping up the good, the specialists. The kicking with Bojorquez and Hopkins was on, and I just love the Charlie Hewlett cowboy collar, so I threw that in on the good. Next up, the bad. We start with the David Bell injury, which you just hate to see, man. And then you hear it actually is a dislocated hip.
Yeah.
It's scary when he got on that board and they're like holding his leg up, and you just hate to see it. And now you're in that situation of he was getting tick. He was getting some plays. what is up with Cedric Tillman? Like, I tweeted that, and I was like, okay, so number one, you went into this game without David Njoku. You would think there'd be some more opportunity for some of the guys down in the wide receivers list. Is Ced Tillman in the Hugh Jackson doghouse or something? Like, what? Like, even after the Bell injury, and I get it, you had a good game with Elijah Moore, you had a great game with Jerry Jeudy, and you're still going to throw to Amari Cooper, but something's not clicking here with Cedric Tillman. I don't know. Tell me if I'm overblowing this a little bit. Like I don't
think it could be. I think it could be a multitude of things, right? Because I mean, listen, like you said, Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore had a great game. You're not taking Amari Cooper off the field. That's just not happening. So there's not that much room for him to play anyway. And David Bell has been reliable in these spots. We've seen him. And what was Cedric Tillman's big issue last year, if you remember? It was sometimes you could tell he didn't know what the play was.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very dangerous game to play, because if he does that again with an already struggling Deshaun Watson, you can't afford that.
No.
And I will see as the season goes on the opportunities he gets, because obviously Jamari Thrash isn't getting him any opportunities. But then again, if Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore are playing well and they're getting open and doing what they're supposed to, there's not going to be much room for him.
No. Off the injury side of it, which isn't part of the bad, but just something to watch, Myles Garrett's got this foot injury. It's the same foot that he suffered that injury in the stupid Pro Bowl games a couple of years ago. So he's going to have to manage that. You only got 11 snaps of Denzel Ward. And he said, I was on a pitch count with his shoulder. But it was crazy, Ryan, looking back on it, rewatching, I was like, 11 plays. I feel like he got his hands on like 2 or 3 footballs. He was credited with only 1 pass defense in the game. But that was a pretty impactful 11. That one on Gabe Davis, when he hit that stutter step and Denzel was locked right on him, man. And they talked about it on the broadcast, which was good on Gabe Davis's part, where it was a stutter and go. And he hit the stutter at the first down, because you'd think, oh, he's running a hook here just to pick up the first down. Bro, Denzel didn't let him breathe for a second on that play. That's one of my favorite plays of the game, to be honest with you. So you only got the 11 with Denzel. You're going to have to fight through some of these injuries. Okoronkwo too. But overall, he kind of got this game semi-healthy, but the injuries continue to crop up. They're always beyond the bad.
Yeah, I mean, Denzel Ward is just an elite field eraser. I mean, you saw the plays he made, and it was very limited pitch count, but like when he made a play, I mean, he made a damn play, right? You can't throw his way, and we talked about this last year ad nauseum, right? The amount of touchdowns given up from the Browns defense when Denzel Ward's on the field versus not. I mean, it's tenfold when he's not, right? And you saw that happen with Brian Thomas Jr. I know that wasn't a touchdown, but it led to the touchdown. And Martin Emerson had a great game, I thought. Could have been a little bit better. He almost had that pick. That was a very good play by him. Greg Newsome had an okay game. He was decent in coverage, but the one with Brian Thomas Jr. was a little ugly. But all things considered, I thought the secondary was fine. Grant Delpit had a great game, too.
Next up on the bad, we need to stop these penalties, because eventually it is going to bite you in the ass. All right. We doubled them in penalties, both yardage and numbers. They were 6 for 52. We were 13 for 100. There are
what do we have, 4 in a row at one time?
That's and 4th and 36 or whatever it was, or 3rd and 36 holdings and this and that. I mean, the thing is, and it always seems to be offensive penalties, and it's not even this stupid illegal formation. Now you got some shift problems that were going on, but like, there's a stat out there, I know there is, about when you lose the penalty battle, you're most likely going to lose the game. You did that. This is what was so crazy about that game. You got outgained on yardage. They got out-had, I think, on total plays. I know they had more first downs than us. Here's it. No. Okay, so we had more plays. They had 18 first downs to our 17. We did have 65 plays to their 55. They were actually better than us on third down. We were 2 for 14 on third down yesterday. They were 3 for 9. They had more yards per play, more drives, more total yards, and we had more penalties. How do you win that game? Like, that seems to be a recipe. Now, there were no turnovers on either side. We should have had the one, but it was the Hopkins penalty. But think about that. If I told you a recipe for the Browns to get a win, they were going to outgain you, you were going to have more penalties, and they were better than you on third down. Not by a lot, but still better. Where was the change? they went 1 for 4 in the red zone, an area where Jim Schwartz had giants circled because we weren't good in the red zone. They were 1 for 4 in the red zone, and you dominated time of possession, at least at a point in the game. You finished out 34 minutes to about 25. Still, 9 minutes is pretty damn good for winning the time of possession. That was an ugly game, an ugly win, but you got it. Now, when we do the good, bad, and the ugly, it's what I send out. But, Ryan, I did a little caveat last night, and we've got to add to the bad. It's Amari Cooper's drops. Yep. That's 2 wide-ass open ones in 2 weeks now. Yesterday, 8 targets on just 3 receptions for Amari Cooper. It begs the question, what's going on? Is it the contract? Does he think he's getting traded? And, all right, little side note here. I don't think we sensationalize things here on this show, right? We all know that can be sometimes that happens in sports talk radio, and you get the booming guy, sensationalizing. I don't think we do that too much, right? I try to be level-headed. This is going to cross the line of sensationalism, and I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Do you now sit there and see maybe Amari Cooper is expendable all of a sudden? I don't feel that way.
No, I don't either.
But there are people you watch that, and it's one game where it was a sloppy, ugly game that you got to win. You're still going to need Amari Cooper. You are still going to need him on this team. But it factors in, he had a bad game. And the question that it just kind of gnaws at you that you don't like, and it's an itch that you can't scratch. Does this work with Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson? Right? You go back to last year without him in there, and Cooper and this, and Cooper and Flacco, and Cooper and Watson. Like, it just is continuing this thing that I don't like, but it is there. And I'm not going to read into one game and sit here, go trade deadline, get rid of him, bring something else back in, all that kind of stuff. You are going to need Amari Cooper. You are going to need him. And he is good enough that I see a game on this schedule that he is the borderline sole reason that you win. A game like he had a couple of years or a couple of games last year where you're like, that guy's a man-possessed, picking up big first downs, and we're going to go win. Getting those guys on the same page is going to be a huge thing. I think Cooper is pressing right now. I do. That's a situation that has got to be so hard. You're playing on a team that you're not going to be here next year, and you need to get a contract, and you're 30, and all this stuff. That pressure has got to be on him. And then what happened? Drop. That's even worse now, and you're just mounting it. Amari Cooper is the ultimate professional, and at a time seems machine-like, doesn't he? Where you're like, he's so stoic. He's like Nick Chubb. He's still human, man, and still some of that stuff creeps in up here, and it starts to impact it. I had to add him to the bad. I don't like doing it, but Ryan, it is apparent. That was a bad game for Mario. It was a bad game. That's all I'm going to write it up for.
Yeah, it was a bad game, but I'm not going to go ahead today and overreact to it too much. Sure. I think what he's done ever since he's got to Cleveland has warranted him that, and I'm not saying that's an excuse, but then again, I have to go back. I didn't able to watch the film of all the routes run. I don't know if he had trouble getting open, but then again, what's a D coordinator going to do? You look at Deshaun Watson, who's already struggling, you're going to try to take away his best weapon, and that is still undoubtedly, I believe, Amari Cooper, right? And when you have Elijah Moore, who by any means isn't a world beater, he's not going to beat you. And then you have Jerry Jeudy, who is a good player, but he hasn't proven it yet. And maybe that's not his fault. But I think Amari Cooper probably, part of their game plan was erasing him. And that's essentially what they did. But like I said, he's earned enough cachet since he's been here. I'm going to give him this, not a pass, but I refuse to overreact on this.
Benefit of the doubt. Give it to, and now if Jerry Jeudy can give a little for the rest of these teams to open up and have to think about coming into some games, and that'll open things up when Njoku gets back and when all that happens. More on the bad, this O-line situation where overall they were fine. Honestly, my biggest complaint and what just doesn't, the penalties. It's just all these O-line penalties, which are just so freaking frustrating.
Yeah.
But I get it. You got your backups in there. But it's a little bit of like that Deshaun situation a year ago where you're going up to game time and you're like, are you going to play or not? And I know that they're working to get Wills back and Conklin. And now you've almost entered a stretch where, like, you got through Micah Parsons and Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker and Eric Armstead. And, like, I look at the Giants, and Kayvon Thibodeau is good, But now I'm almost like you go out today and Stefanski's press conference go, I'm already ruling these guys out. It's almost like you're entering bonus time with these guys, which then you sit there and go, why just didn't put them on PUP to start? The line play is one thing. This game during the week is not sustainable of trying to see if they're going to get there, if they're trying to see if they can make it to, Joe Thomas used to be, he wouldn't practice all week because you had to get to the game on Sunday. I know Andrew Hawkins was on, I think he was on ESPN joking about that. You only pull the car out, you only pull the Cadillac out when you need it on Sunday. That was Joe Thomas. I'm not saying you can't do that with Jack Conklin or Jed Wills, but you don't even know if they're ready to go Sunday. Joe was ready to go. Joe was going to play no matter what was going on during the week. Joel Bitonio. By the way, did you see that new arm brace on Bitonio's arm?
I didn't peep it.
He's got it on the right arm. And also, I watch weird things when I watch the games. He doesn't clap his hands. He hits his chest to like when they break the huddle. And I was like, has he got an arm problem going on? He's got a brace on that I had to wear when I tore my bicep. It's the J.J. Watt brace.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can't hyperextend your elbow.
It looks like a cyborg.
It looks like a cyborg. I should have kept mine. I threw it away. And I was like, I don't know.
Should have wore it today.
I was so sick of that thing, man. I was so sick of that thing. Arm's good now. Got a golf out this weekend. I got to get limbered up and get going. But Bitonio had that on, and I saw it a couple times where he'd break the huddle and he would just tap his chest instead of clapping his hands. Little thing to add on. That game's not sustainable about what you're going to do with the line moving up into the game. And again, once you're in there, I'm asking better out of Wyatt Teller. I know he had a hold. I know Bitonio, Posick, they all seem to have one. Dwan Jones is doing fine, but
he's hurt.
Yeah, and he's banged up, man. So I put the O-line on the bad, just to figuring it out as a little caveat. The ugly! Those kids are peeing in that pool.
Yeah, when
those kids are peeing in
one of the buddies I was watching with, when they panned to them, he said the same thing.
Now, okay, so what we're talking about is at Trevor Bank Stadium. At Everbank Stadium, they have a pool. And there's people in the pool watching the game. The pool is above the seats. How would you feel sitting on those seats below the pool getting splashed on all game?
Yeah, it's gross.
And then and there were kids. They look to be, 10, 12 years old. They're peeing in that pool.
100%.
They are.
100%.
You know it. I know when they probably built that stadium, they're like, oh, this is going to be really cool. How much do you think it costs to get a ticket into the pool?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Ticket for the pool.
And it was raining.
It was. Yeah. All right, hang on a second. Okay. You can't. Oh, my God. Holy cow. Okay. The pool. I guess there's multiple pools, okay? You cannot just get a ticket for it. You have to buy the cabana that goes with the pool. Here's what you get. There's a pool deck cabana. There's a party deck cabana. You want access to the... Okay, so here's the thing. The party deck cabana, 20 people. All you get, food, beer, wine, and soft drinks, but you don't get access to the pool. That package starts at $4,000, okay? You want the pool deck. 50 people, all-inclusive food, beer, wine, and soft drinks. Last season, Ryan, $12,500. Math on the show. Oh, sorry. 12 divided by 50. $250 a pop. $250. And that includes like the kids who aren't going to drink alcohol.
Right.
Or at least they shouldn't. $250 a pop for the cabana to get in the pool, all you can eat and all you can drink. I don't get the allure.
No, I don't either.
I'm here to watch the game. I'm not going in the... I'm assuming there's a lifeguard. There damn well better be a lifeguard. Did you see that chain gang guy go down?
Yes.
In the Baltimore game? How scary is that?
Yeah, that's very scary. I saw the video.
There was another one last night, too. Chain gang going down.
Really?
Sad, man. Ooh, scary stuff. $250. I guess I could have done that math. 50, 12... I'm bad at math. But anyway... That's what it would have been for the pool. I don't get that. I don't get it. It really is not my thing. You know what is my thing? A little bit around the league. Ryan, let's do it. Games are in the books. How do we do? 'Cause 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 ' right, 'tis that time to go around the league. You can always go check out our Twitter, react, get our question. Let's get an update. Actually, before we do around the league, Ryan, let's go to our Twitter, @Fontana Show, asking everybody for your game ball from yesterday's Browns win. Ryan, what do we got so far?
Yes, pretty heavily in favor of Hopkins Bjorkes.
Nice.
54.8.
Nice.
Defensive line, 20.2. Jerry Jeudy, 14.1. Deshaun Watson, just 10.9.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, little improvement there it is. So we got plenty of Browns to get to. We can't go much further without saying the guards. Hey, man, you got a magic number that you can clinch this week, baby. We'll get to the guards in the morning update coming up. Time to go around the league. We'll get you our plays, and we start with the Baltimore Ravens.
How about them Ravens? First time they start 0-2 since 2015.
Yeah, what did I tell you, man? What did I tell you?
I guess I just don't give enough respect to Gardner Minshew.
Here's the thing. The Ravens can still make the playoffs and still win the AFC North, but, man, I was putting that Maloik on them. I was just trying so hard to put in that ethos. That game started, you thought it was going to be this runaway, and the Raiders got out. Dude, give Antonio Pierce a little love today in addition to Gardner Minshew.
Well, he needed that game because his week 1 play calling was not good.
Who's that?
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. I mean, on the defensive side?
No, his decisions like go for it and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those new coaches, that's something you got to battle with the hype and the Dan Campbell and all that, going for and that kind of stuff. Dude, how? We live in Orlando. We'll get to the Bengals here in a second. The Steelers are 2-0. We're 1-1. The Bengals and the Ravens are 0-2. How does that happen? And I'm going to do this for the Browns. ESPN always does their takeaways from every game, right? And they run through each little thing. So let's quickly run through. I wish they did it in a better order than they do, but here we go. Stand by. I had it. I clicked off of it. We probably don't really have time to be doing this, to be honest with you, right? We gotta run through it. Anyway, we'll get to it anyway. Dude, how do you do that? And I think it comes back to they asked Lamar Jackson to do everything, right? Do you look at that? And I would say Flowers had a touchdown, but you look at that game where it came down to the final fourth. Dude, think about this. Gardner Minshew beat Lamar Jackson in the fourth quarter. He beat him in the fourth freaking quarter of a game. Lamar had an interception, 276. I'm sorry, that was Minshew, 276. 247, touchdown interception. And Derrick Henry had a Derrick Henry type of game. 84 yards and the touchdown. I actually think that is what they want their offense to look like. They just couldn't stop Gardner Minshew.
The Ravens right now are very much so missing the presence of Patrick Queen and Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Right, absolutely. And again, neither one of those guys are walking through that door again. So well done for the Raiders. Ravens got some soul searching to look for. And again, I'm not saying that they're not going to make the playoffs, but that inexcusable. Unfortunately, but we will take it. We both lost that. It was the Ravens minus 8.5. Outright losers in week 2. There it is. Next up, Chargers, Panthers. Panthers are cheeks.
Yeah.
They are horrible. Mostly because Bryce Young is not good. 84 yards and an interception. Yeah, Herbert, fine. Where the frick did J.K. Dobbins come back from all of a sudden?
I mean, man, I don't think it's all that surprising. I mean, it's the injuries that have riddled him. But, I mean, you go back to his days in Baltimore, he was damn near averaging 5 yards a carry. I mean, he just keeps it up everywhere he goes. It's just a matter of can he stay healthy? And so far through 2 games this season, 2 touchdowns, I mean, he's looked great. He's looked very efficient.
Chargers right in the thick of it at 2-0 now all of a sudden. Maybe I got to start giving.
Surprising was Quentin Johnson, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. I mean, because we all asked ourselves, your guy Ladd, and Quentin Johnson, they saw Josh Palmer. You go, who is going to catch the ball from Justin Herbert? Because you believed, and we did this stat last week, that Jim Harbaugh in his time in San Francisco never had a 3,500-yard passer. And you say Justin Herbert, you're like, you're going to have to throw the football.
Early reactions.
You only have $130.
Do we need to put a little bit more respect on the Chargers and Harbaugh?
I think so, and I was going to give some flowers to Harbaugh today. That him hyping up when he's slapping Herbert, though, is so corny.
Yeah, that was
and you could see Justin Herbert was laughing in his helmet.
Because he did it too long.
Yeah, I know. He's like...
He did it way too long.
And I think Harbaugh's laughing while he's doing it, too, is kind of being like an inside joke gimmick type thing. He's a gimmick, right? That's a perfect way to put it. We both easily cleared there on the Chargers. Done and done. Is Derek Carr going to lead the league in passing this year for the New Orleans Saints? Will Brinson had a great tweet about the Saints this morning. Clint Kubiak is the new offensive coordinator down there in New Orleans. They dropped 44 on the Cowboys yesterday. Only 243 from Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Alvin frickin' Kamara, 3 touchdowns on the ground and 1 through the air. Here's the thing that I bring up, though, and this was Will Brinson's tweet. Under Gary Kubiak, Clint's father, Matt Schaub led the league in passing 1 year down there in Houston. Could Derek Carr be Clint Kubiak's Matt Schaub?
I suppose. I don't know. I mean, let's be real. Right now, through 2 weeks, the biggest shock is the New Orleans Saints, and I'm not quite sure I know how to feel, right? I mean, Week 1, you played the worst team in the league. It's not even close, but it's still something to put up 40-plus points. Now you do that in Dallas 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to say it's a coincidence. That's probably unfair to Derek Carr and the Saints, but through 2 weeks, Dallas's offense hasn't looked great by any measure.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to feel, but I have to give Derek Carr his flowers. Dennis Allen, I guess you have to give him some flowers. Maybe we'll give him one little tulip, but we'll see how it goes the rest of the season.
I think that is what. Dak with a fumble, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. The biggest issue with Dallas, they cannot run the football. 68 yards rushing. Their leading rusher was Rico Dowdell, which is 30 carries. And you had Dak throwing it 39 times in that game. I know they were down for pretty much the whole game. Yeah. I think they didn't lead once in that game, right? I don't think so.
No, they didn't.
It's 14-3 after the first quarter.
Yep.
Dallas.
We both had him missing the playoffs.
I know. There we are. Both lost on that one. Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield. Career high for touchdowns through 2 games. I got to say, and I took Tampa. You took Dallas now. I didn't think Tampa was going to win. I thought they'd make it close. That's a little more on Detroit. 2 interceptions for Jared Goff. I think, and we'll get to the 49ers game too, which I think is a circle for both these teams, emotional letdown. You know that video that guy goes, emotional damage. That's kind of, I think, a big game. Stafford, overtime, they get a win. They came out a little flat. And I think Tampa just kind of weathered the storm a little bit. Baker with a touchdown, ran another one in. Same thing, they can't run the football right now. But you got to, and I got to remind myself of this, they got Godwin and they got Evans. Like, they have so many guys to throw to down there. That was a really, really big win from Tampa. Did you learn more from Tampa or Detroit in that one?
That's a great question. I think I learned more from the Lions.
Really?
Because I'll tell you why. Baker has looked great through 2 weeks. The run quarterback scramble he had where he juked the dude out of his shoes. That was impressive. I don't know where that came from. Good for Baker. Listen, you put Chris Godwin back in the slot, and he's now excelling, right? He was PFF's highest grade receiver week 1. He scored again week 2. Mike Evans is probably the most underrated player maybe in NFL history, right?
I agree with him.
And the protection was good. I mean, that's when you have when you have Tristan Wirfs anchoring that line, that's supposed to happen. For Detroit, I thought the play calling was interesting. Jared Goff, I think, was the main reason they lost that game. Now, that's my thing when I say about the Lions. I think I learned more about Jared Goff, who he really is. I mean, when you have a year of tape on him in the Dan Quinn, Ben Johnson-led offense, I think you're bound to regress a little bit. But what was interesting was Jared Goff, I thought, was throwing some uncharacteristic picks into double coverage. It was strange. Amon-Ra St. Brown has yet to get his feet off the ground this season.
And now he's hurt.
But then again, it was fun because you have Dan Gamble pulling out his Randy Marsh nuts in the wheelbarrow.
That was
fake punting on his own, 25. I think Baker has been very good.
Football around on Mondays.
I think when I say I learned more about the Lions, I think it's because I probably was too low on Baker from what I saw from him the last season.
I think I learned a lot more about Tampa Bay. And we'll see the Falcons tonight, obviously. But, I picked them to win that South, and they're a scrappy little bunch down there. And that was a big win there for Tampa Bay on that. Another shocker of the week. That the Packers barely needed to throw the football.
My coldest prediction.
With Malik Willis, who we said, how's that going to win? And Anthony Richardson looked like a rookie quarterback. And the Packers, which, Ryan, you and I both lost that game.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, too, we did not account for Lambeau Field, man. We did not account for rookie quarterback going to Lambeau.
About that. But
3 interceptions. 3.
I don't know. I get the Lambeau Field mystique and all, but I mean, it was Malik Willis, man. I was not putting my money on him. I told you what I would rather do.
32 $151 for Josh Jacobs. And in that first half,
and Josh Jacobs, mind you, fumbled at the goal line.
right.
That game shouldn't even been that close.
I know,
No, it wasn't close.
16-10, ugly win, but did not see that
Did
coming
you see
from
the center
pack.
puke on the ball?
Yeah, and then he goes, and then Matt LaFleur after, he goes, I asked him, Malik, why didn't he throw the ball? And he goes, Josh threw up on it. Could you imagine
football
getting
guy.
mad and just go, what the f-
Snapped it and threw a mean block. That's a football guy.
Then it goes back to that college tape or that college clip where that guy pukes and then he looks up at the defenders. Did you ever see that one?
And he tried to taunt him by puking. I think it was Tennessee. It was like Tennessee and Alabama.
Something from last year. The guy standing in the huddle. He starts puking and then he just looks at the defenders and he goes, yeah, bring it on.
Speaking of Tennessee, how about those golden flashes?
How about Toledo, man? How about Toledo? A little action going on
What
there.
happened with Toledo?
They won.
I'm just talking about Kent State. They were down 65-0 at halftime.
Dude, what do you... They got their check.
Yeah, I guess.
Toledo won, man.
Who'd
They
they
beat
play?
Mississippi State.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? It was Mississippi State. Yeah. Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't get to watch college football.
I didn't watch too much college football. I think Ohio State being off kind of puts a damper on the whole thing.
And now,
hey,
but as we tie things back to Ohio State as we do on this show,
Yeah.
could Ohio State move up to number 1 after Georgia almost lost?
Well, that's why Texas has won now. But now Quinn Ewers is hurt.
Oh, the rankings are out already?
The AP's out, yeah.
And
AP's out.
Texas jumped Ohio State?
Goes Texas, Georgia, Ohio State.
They moved.
Yeah.
How did they move Texas above Ohio State?
They were more impressive this week. Ohio State didn't play. I get it. I'm not. So
Yeah.
what? I get it. So
I
what?
just find it interesting.
So what? Yeah. No. I don't. I think you know this about me already, but I'll say it again. Don't ever feel bad about fact checking. Don't ever feel bad about challenging me on things.
No, you're right.
AP top 25. Texas, Georgia, Ohio State. Ohio State was always 3, and then they just flip-flop Texas and Georgia.
No.
They were 3 in last week's AP. Because the only flip in the top 5 was Texas and Georgia flipping 1-2.
Oh, so they jumped Ohio State after week 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of
Excuse
course,
me?
you go from Quinn Ewers to frickin' Arch Manning, who looks like a beast. So the rich get richer there. At this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, what you just got to do is avoid losses. Like, again, Georgia, again, got to win, but that's all, for how it goes. Speaking of going on, getting to win, the freaking Vikings, man. Revenge for Sam Darnold and crew. That was a letdown. I thought the 49ers were better than that. That is you lose a game, you should probably win. That chalked that up as the one for this season for the 49ers. They just seem kind of lazy, a little lackadaisical there. Darnold getting it done. We got to watch Justin Jefferson with his injury. Buckner, that 97-yarder. Woo! Damn. But, the 49ers, 319 for Purdy, touchdown and a pick. Mason, 100 yards and a touchdown. Kittle, Debo with 110. Ayuk for, that seemed like a solid, kind of game for the 49ers. Just probably needed some more points, obviously. I put that on Minnesota. Just the loss for the Vikings. I'm sorry, the loss for the 49ers they probably shouldn't have for the season. Kind of how I chalk it up to. There.
Yeah, through 2 weeks, it's interesting.
The Vikings are 2-0.
The 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now through 2 weeks are who? Darnold and Baker.
Yeah.
But I remember Sam Darnold got off to a similar start like this last season, and we know how that ended. But, for the 49ers, listen, you miss Christian McCaffrey, you're going to feel it as good as Jordan Mason has been. But Brandon Ayuk through 2 weeks, I think, has been a big disappointment. Maybe not all his fault, but he hasn't made much noise. And I don't see an update on George Kittle. I was so scared because he's my tight end, and I saw he got carted off.
Yeah.
Comes out, he was just getting an IV, so I need to make sure he's good.
There was a lot of cramping in a lot of games because I think it came out Amon-Ra St. Brown was just cramping. They said that, everybody be okay about Amon-Ra.
But Justin freaking Jefferson.
Obscene. He's so good. And then what happened before the game? He came out, 49ers tried to get... That's almost unfair if they could have gotten him. They came out before the game that the 49ers called the Vikings before the draft, and they said, you want to trade us Justin Jefferson? And they're like, no, we don't. Probably a good thing. What would that have been? It had to have been, what would you have given up for Justin Jefferson? 2 1s and Ayuk?
I would say Ayuk and a 1.
I think he's worth 2. I know Ayuk could kind of be viewed as a first-round pick as well in that.
Ayuk a 1 and a 3rd.
Maybe, and I would have rebuffed that. For the Vikings. Seahawks pull one out in overtime. Thankfully, they were playing the Patriots. But I crap on Geno Smith, and he had some big boy, like you said, Randy Marsh sack level fourth quarter, drives to get the Seahawks back in. Boy, did they miss Kenneth Walker in that game. 38 yards for Charbonneau. I know he got a touchdown. DK with the touchdown, but Jackson Smith and Jigba with one of his best games. Seahawks pull it out. I think for the Patriots, that's just fine. I know the pressure will be there to play Drake May. I still think they're kind of in a borderline tank season. Jacoby played all right. But you give the Patriots credit for, again, at home, fighting it through. But that was a big boy win there for Seattle. They're 2-0.
Yeah, I think Gerard Mayo's done a great job through 2 weeks so far, all things considered. But you flip it over for the Seahawks. I understand that they've played two bad teams now in the Broncos and the Patriots, but you're still in a new regime with Mike McDonald. 2-0 is never easy to start when you just your first time head coach. But I think one of the most obvious things heading into this season, I think, was the Jackson Smith and Jigba breakout, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the talent was ever a question. It was Tyler Lockett was still kind of there taking away some targets, but you saw in this game, 16 targets, him and DK both over 100 yards. You bring in Ryan Grubb, who you saw work with three receivers in Washington.
30 targets between the two.
First Seahawks duo to have, I think it was 100 yards and a touchdown each. Very impressive. I think that was one of the most obvious breakouts this year was Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Jets, thank God they were playing Will Levis. Here, you take this. I don't want it. Here, you throw this. Will Levis with some horrible turnovers. Jets skate on by. I know Rodgers emotional to get the first one done. 24-7. By the way, we both had a push on New England. It was an even 3, so we got the push there. We both won on the Jets, who are minus 3.5, and they win by a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Braylon Allen gets the touchdown. I liked him. I liked him a lot. Yes, right. He had the receiving one. I think the big thing I kind of read coming out of the game was the use of Garrett Wilson through a couple of weeks now. Just on the 6 targets, 4 receptions for him. Jets got it done because the Titans just, again, gave that game away. Titans are in full tank mode. And just that video, just see a video of Brian Callahan looking at Will Levis and who's, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. I don't think Will Levis. And now, again, the Titans are in an okay spot. Let him play the whole year.
Yeah.
But after this, you're going to go be finding a quarterback there. That catch that Calvin Ridley had, though.
Yeah, man.
And again, when he was in Jacksonville, when he was in Atlanta, when he got the suspension, all that other kind of stuff, I was always kind of a big Calvin Ridley guy. That was a really impressive catch there. Tennessee fumbled away. Good for the Jets. They're back to 1-1.
Yeah, the Jets, they got the win, but then again, still didn't instill much more confidence in me. Rodgers looked fine, finally threw for 2 touchdown passes. Feel like it's been a decade since he's done that, but they ran the ball and they win by defense. That's going to be their game plan this year.
Commanders, Jaden Daniels gets his first win as an NFL quarterback. We split this. You get the win on Washington. I take the loss on the Giants. It was only a 1.5-point spread, 3-point win for the Commies. There's some maybe belief that Daniel Jones might be turning some things around to touchdowns.
That's the stupidest thing you've said all day.
I didn't say it. It was on ESPN this morning. Devin Singletary ran one in. I still don't think the Giants are going anywhere. Malik Neighbors is good. For the Commies, okay, solid win, but you realize it is a lot of Jaden Daniels and not much else on that one. The thing on that was, they scored 21 points. But none of them came on offense, correct? Jaden Daniels didn't throw for a touchdown. Nobody ran for one. Hang on.
Austin Seibert had 7 field goals.
That's what it was. 7 field goals for Austin Seibert.
Christ.
Hey, man, I guess a win's a win, right? That's how it goes. So an ugly one. Giants, don't believe in them. I don't think the Commanders going anywhere, but we split on that one. Next up, the Cards demolish the Rams, who might be chicken country level steak fried at this point. 41-10. Cooper Kupp now hurt. Kyler 3 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison, after a slow game 1, 2 on a $130. That's the kind of thing you look for Arizona. Rams are 0-2. You don't have Cooper. You don't have Puka. That might be all she wrote.
Yeah, that might be it. I was high on the Rams. Doesn't look like it's going to turn out well, but they've been by far the most injured team this season. But it's interesting because remember Friday we talked about the stat. They've lost 8 straight games to the Rams.
Correct. They haven't won in Arizona. Or no. Was it that
But
one?
I guess, I mean,
yeah,
really,
they won there since like 1990. No, it's not them. It was somebody else. But anyway, yeah.
I don't necessarily think we should be all that. I mean, I didn't expect them to blow them out. In fact, I thought the Rams were going to win, but I don't think we should be all that shocked about the Cardinals. Like, they've looked pretty decent through 2 weeks. Kyler looks to be back. He's making plays.
Connor.
With his arm.
I always sell James Conner.
James Conner was the one I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely underrated. He's been very consistent throughout his career. You give Kyler a guy like Marvin Harrison, who I know wasn't involved in week 1 and only had 4 receptions this week, but he made it count when he caught it.
Next up, the Bengals cover. I get the win on the +6. Ryan took KC. They don't.
Don't care they lost. That makes my day.
I call it. And I love Drew and the Bengalorian.
Believe it or not, you're not allowed to hit somebody before the ball gets to them.
They are struggling with the refs.
Did you know that, Matt?
That was so
Did you know that?
clear and obvious a PI call.
I don't think they covered that rule in Cincinnati.
Then Jamar
bitching
and the ref said he crossed the line, man.
And
he
then
said
being
some
an
words.
Absolute crybaby in the post game. Oh my God.
Are the Bengals tilted right now? Bengals are tilted.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I find it insanely difficult to root for a guy like Jamar Chase. Not even the fact that he's on a division rival. The way he handles himself, I just think it's when he's high, and when he's low, he's a jerk.
Well, and again, we love Drew and the Bengalorian, friend of ours. We'll get to our bet coming up with that.
Listen, we're friends, but not during football season.
No, not during football season. We got our Red Series against the Guardians coming up soon, boys. You better get ready for that. Joe Burrow looked better.
Oh, yeah, he looked
good. But Jamar Chase, not having T. Higgins, then what? It comes out about that he took out an insurance policy. Did you see that?
I did see it.
That Jamar Chase took out a $50 million insurance policy on himself to cover for injury this season because he doesn't have a long-term deal. And I make fun of Drew and Bengalorian. It comes from a positive place here. But they keep downplaying that this is a media-driven narrative, that this is a national-driven media. Bro, this is real. And I don't know what else to tell you guys down there on the banks of the Ohio River. That is something that is real. That is legit. And I know you don't want to believe that, and I know you want to set that aside, but I'm here telling you that that is a very, very real thing. And Burrow trying to get back, which is good. He looked fine. But if you want to just bury your head in the sand to try to tell me that this Jamar Chase situation in the thing, it is. They're cutting some pipe. They're laying some pipe. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez, that's loud.
They're installing sprinklers in here. So they got a lot of iron they got to run up here. Oh, sorry. It's not even copper. I think it's raw. Anyway, not raw iron, but regular. Anyway. That's the thing. And again, and I give those guys credit because they're sitting there and they're like, we have to look at it from the other side. That was PI. That was PI as clear as the day. Do the Chiefs get calls, Ryan? Of course they do. Because they're the Chiefs. That's how it goes. That's what they've established themselves as, that level of a team. Sorry about it. So we split there. I win on Cincinnati. You lose on Kansas City. We both got it done for the Steelers. They take care of the Broncos. Bo Nix showed up a little bit in that second half, though. 13-6. Fields not all that great. Touchdown, just $117. More about the defense, that the Steelers defense has only given up, 17 points or something through the first 2 games. Zero. That's right. Not a single touchdown to be had. Nix with the 2 interceptions, but again, looked better in that second half trying to piece it together. They're going to have to ride with Justin Fields. I didn't even think about this going into this game. Russell Wilson revenge game. And they kind of hooped him up a little after giving him all and all that kind of stuff, but whatever.
Did they really do Russell dirty?
No, but it's still something you want to beat them. Denver 0-2, Pittsburgh 2-0, man. You can read into their wins that they're not all that. I get it. But they're going to have to ride it with Justin Fields. I think it's the right call for right now. Now, the thing is, let's say Russell Wilson, because I don't think Russell Wilson's going to play this week either. But when he comes back, would you go back to Russell Wilson? Offense still looks pretty stagnant. It still doesn't look great there for Pittsburgh.
Unless these next weeks, till Russell gets back, you're really wowed by Fields. I mean, what has he done to impress you?
Not much.
1 touchdown through 2 games?
Not much.
No, I would definitely go back to Russell.
Final one, Sunday Night Football. The Texans do get it done on kind of an ugly game.
Yeah,
as they beat the Bears 19-13. Caleb Williams still in search of his first touchdown pass, had one glance off the hands of Rome Odunze in the end zone. C.J. Stroud, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins, pretty freaking good. Stephon Diggs, still very good. Mixon got hurt. Couldn't really run the ball. Do you want to know the pain, Brian? I had that game listed at 6.5.
I tell you pain. I started Tank Dell, and he had 1 catch for negative 3 yards.
Yeah. I win on Chicago on the hook. You lose on Houston. Now, I want to give you an opening here if you want to take it. That game closed at an even 6. When I bet on it yesterday, it was an even 6 push. Do you want to take it?
I mean, if you're giving it to me.
I will give you a push.
All right.
I didn't even see. Did you even have our records up there?
Yeah. Okay. Right here.
So you got to change yours. 13. Well, then I would have to take a push.
That's fine.
I don't want to do that. All right.
No, we can leave it. I mean, we bet it when we bet it.
We bet it at 6.5 and closed at 6.
I'll catch up to you. I'm not worried.
Final one, the Browns. I win on that one. Jags minus.
I'm happy to be wrong, baby.
That's fine. That's fine. So we'll take it. We'll get to our Monday night plays coming up, and we'll get to the guards all coming with you. Appreciate everybody joining us. Big show for us this morning. So as always, follow on Twitter, X, at Matt Fontana Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We're up on Twitch and the brand spanking new Big Play app, where tonight you get a little Tim Misney action up there on the Big Play Show. You got Bobby Carpenter every single day, and the debut of our brand new pregame show. Tony Zarella, Bob Golick, Chuck Boone's here right on Big Play where you need it. They did big numbers yesterday on that as well. Alex Anzalone on the Come Get Some show. Saw that.
They just be getting the most random players.
Well, they're all, Greg's guys.
I know. He knows so many people.
Hanford Show, the Big Play Tailgate Show. It's all there. Check it out. And if you go to Big Play on Twitter, we're running a contest where if you show that, what was the giveaway? I think it was a Browns jersey.
It was a Myles Garrett jersey.
That's it. All you got to do is show that you've downloaded the app. Go to it on Twitter, and we're giving away a jersey.
Yeah.
Other things of note this week. Number 1, tonight, again, Misney, will we get Jameis?
I'm not positive.
They shoot?
I think they're still arranging that.
Okay, so we'll work out with Jameis.
I know for a fact we do have another very fun guest coming into the studio today.
Can you say or no?
I don't know.
Okay, leave that where it is.
I'll just say this. He's a baseball player, and he plays for your favorite team.
There you go. So we'll see that tonight. Then we are also giving away spots for our tailgate this Sunday. You want to come down, hang out, and watch the game with Greg and Blake. I think Hanford might be here. Food, drinks, all of it. You and a guest, go to bigplay.com. I'm doing it right now. Bigplay.com. And you will see a chance to enter for a spot. So Big Play Live, that is us. Hi, we're streaming right there. The talent team, where is it? Right, was it on the website? There's our merch. I got my order coming in. Contact us. Right? Am I missing that?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm missing it. I want to tell people where it is. The sign up.
It's probably on the Big Play main page. Are you on that?
Yeah, I'm on the page. There's live, that's us. The Big Play team, that's also us. Big Play Studios, that's where we're at. Our merch, which I'm wearing right now, and then contact us. Presented by Garage Beer, who we love very much. Anyway, do this. Go follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana. Or I'm sorry, go to Big Play on Twitter.
I love that you say Twitter X.
I still call it Twitter. It's X to some people. I probably just get away with saying Twitter, but here it is. So there's the announcement on our pregame. There's the giveaway. So all you got to do, download the app, reply with a screenshot, and you could win a Myles Garrett jersey. Let me hit the retweet on that for everybody. I'm ineligible to win. Then... I'm not missing that, right?
I don't know.
We got to check it. We're doing a giveaway for our... We'll get that figured out. We got a giveaway for everybody to come on down with a guest to enjoy the tailgate on Sunday. That's it. I know we have that. I know it's somewhere. All right, let's do this. Let's catch a break. We'll make this our only break of the morning.
Yes, I'm about to pee my pants.
Go ahead. You do that. Don't pee your pants. Go to the bathroom. We come back. We'll jump into the Around the League. Or, I'm sorry, morning update. I'm just stalling.
Dude,
I know. Go. Just go. We got plenty coming. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages, because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage beer, beer-flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
That's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Even though our strength of schedule was #1 in the NFL, I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
They won, again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. 'Tis the laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, 'tis the law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
I think that's a big ass horn. Welcome back.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, don't mess with that. That's
Nah,
a
bro.
giant ass hornet. In
Nah,
here.
bro.
No. It might. Hang on. It might just be a deer. It might just be a deer fly.
Bro, what is that?
That's a big ass fly. Hey, you see those Asian lantern flies? You're supposed to kill.
I don't
them.
be.
Saw one yesterday.
I don't be messing with those. Wait, why do you kill them?
They're invasive. They're not supposed to be here.
Oh, nah, bro. I do not be
I
messing
don't even
with
have anything to
bugs.
smash it with. I don't like smash.
Oh,
I like
dude.
taking them outside.
Nah, bro. Kill that. Where'd it go?
Oh, it's a grasshopper. Calm down.
Oh.
It's fine.
Hey, bro. I don't know what grasshoppers are up to.
Well,
How's there a grasshopper in here?
people got the door open.
Nah, dude. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, you want me to get it out of here?
I mean, I don't. It's up to you.
Well, are the doors open? I don't want to just take it and throw it out there. This is great content. I'm not even on the camera right now.
Should.
What do you want me to do?
Nah, just it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's crawling towards you.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna touch
It's
me.
just a grasshopper.
Well, you scared me. You said it was a hornet.
It was a big ass. It looked like a deer fly. I looked at it. I was like, it was too big to be a hornet. It was a big ass deer fly, but it's not. It's just a grasshopper. It's fine.
All right, back
Just
to your
don't
regular
let-
scheduled
Yeah,
programming.
welcome back. Hi, how's it going? Just don't let it get into that. All our equipment is in like a tower over there. Like,
Yeah.
get in there and short something out or whatever. I don't know. Welcome back, Fontana Show here on Bug Watch.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Morning update. What's your favorite insect?
None.
By the way, we will get the bracket figured out today. We were supposed to start it last week. We were going to do Adam Sandler. James Earl Jones passed away. We were doing your favorite movie villain of all time. Ryan is being a stickler about what makes it and not. So we're going to have to figure that out later. We got timeout. We got our plays for Monday Night Football. But first, morning update. Ryan's got the stories. Take it on, Rye.
Alrighty, well, the Guardians win yet another series as they beat the Rays yesterday 2-0. Ben Lively on the mound. He goes 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 Ks. Guardians up to 86-64 on the year, Matt. That is good for, of course, AL Central lead. They lead the Royals by 4 games as that magic number keeps on dwindling down.
Yes, magic number. We have now a greater than 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. You are making the playoffs. You're back to a 4-game lead. The Royals lost yesterday. Let's freaking go. Now, it's not just the magic number. I'm going to go to friend of ours. We got to get Jensen on. I'll try to get us Bobby this week. Okay. Yeah, we got to get Bobby. I know he does daily. I know he's super busy.
You want me to do your dishes too?
What's that?
You want me to do your dishes and
I did them this morning before. Bobby,
come watch your kids?
You're trust me, buddy. You're more than welcome, pal. Come on, you let me know. Come on over. I'll just take a nap. That's all I need. This is from Jensen, who's been updating everybody on everything. Here's your magic number. 12 games left. 3 for a playoff spot. 9 for the AL Central. And the top 2 seed. All of a sudden, too, we're just a game back from the best record in the American League. Gets you home field through the AL. Now, you have some big games coming up over the next week or so. So we start with us. Let me make sure I get everybody up here, ready to go. Okay. We start with us. We got the Twins starting tonight over there at Progressive Field. Bury them. Kansas City, though, is in Detroit. Which, can I get a little help from the Tigers now when you need it? So there you go on that. And then the Yankees are in Seattle starting tomorrow. That I might just hope a West Coast, because they were home against Boston, West Coast swing, kind of maybe that can be a little fluky. I think the Mariners are fried. I think they're cooked. So they don't have much to play for. The Tigers are cooked, but I'm going to ask them to step up against the Royals. This series against the Twins starting tonight, got to have it. 6:40. Yeah, 6:40 tonight. We'll get to our plays for that as well. You got Boyd on the hill, buddy. Let's go. Honestly, has he not been our best pitcher over the last couple of weeks? Even better than Bybee. Still go Bybee? A little bit. So we'll get that tonight. You
Bybee
need it.
Shows.
Yeah,
I mean Bybee. Yeah, Bybee.
You still say Bybee? That's all right. That's okay.
Isn't it Bybee?
I would say he'd be the best. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. A little over Boyd, but I think Boyd's been fine. So get it done against the Twins starting tonight. Starting scoreboard watch, but we are in the driver's seat for this thing. You'll close it out and get a playoff spot. Want the 2 seed, at least. 1 seed to be great. I want the bye. That's all I ask. I want the Central. We're looking good for it.
Well, it's been quite a while since we talked about this team. But hey, the Cleveland Cavaliers and restricted free agent Isaac Okoro, they've agreed to a 3-year, $38 million contract Saturday. Okoro was, of course, the 5th overall pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, and he was the last restricted free agent left on the market.
I am a big Isaac Okoro fan. So I think this deal works very much. And I get that it's hard, because you look at it and you say the 5th overall pick, and you're like, oh, man, did it play this? Isaac Okoro's got his role. Isaac Okoro, I'd like him to shoot the 3 a little bit better. I like this deal a lot. I think it works out for the Cavs. You can't have all-stars everywhere. I think he's a great bench guy. Now, with everything that we thought the Cavs were going to be, which is crazy, they got training camp starting in a couple of weeks already. With everything that you thought the Cavs were going to do this offseason, trading away Darius Garland or doing this, doing that, they pretty much checked off every box. The only thing that remains for me is what are they going to do with Karis LeVert? Is Karis LeVert a piece of what you're trying to do here? Do you need to flip him for another piece? If we believe the reports that the Cavs are not going to make any moves, even in the season at the trade deadline, they're really going to rock it out with these core guys under, I would say John Beeline, Kenny Atkinson. I'm going to do that.
Leroy Bickerstaff?
Yeah, Leroy Bickerstaff. That's right. That'll calm down a little bit there. See how active
he's still tweeting.
Oh, he is?
An hour and a half before the game and an hour and a half after the game.
I told you it wasn't Deshaun. It's somebody in his inner. If it is somebody, I think it's the inner circle. It's not actually Deshaun.
You don't know that.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, you could.
Under Kenny Axton, they're going to keep this four together. Then it comes back to what you're going to do with Karis LeVert. I'm a big Karis LeVert fan. I don't want to see him go anywhere, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, speaking of basketball, let's flip it over to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark keeps on making history in her rookie year as she now breaks, I should say, the WNBA rookie scoring record, Matt. In 39 games, she has 761 points. That passes Simone Augustus. I love that name.
Yeah.
She had previously had the record of 744 points in 34 games.
Obviously, Asia Wilson doing a lot with that.
She's
massive.
1,000 in a season.
Yep.
Congratulations to her as well.
So, WNBA's in a great spot. Caitlin Clark will extend. She's that damn good. It's a lot of fun to watch. And playoffs, right? Right around the corner.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. I mean, how could they not be, right?
They gotta be, yeah. Right around the corner.
All right, well, I mean, I got some more morning updates, so we're running a little behind, and they're not that important. You want to just go to the grid?
Ryan, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's how we do the grid. Let's do it. Let's just get to the grid. Here we go. We get all 5 this week.
Yes.
And we got a big giveaway for everybody out there. Shout out. Hey, by the way, Mike, if you're watching, I have your prize. I'm dropping it off today.
Dude, come on.
So I couldn't find a box.
Jesus Christ,
I couldn't find a box big enough. Because honestly, I'm sending Mike a pretty good prize package. Actually, I got to run down. I'm grabbing another t-shirt down there from the office real quick. And Mike won our prize a couple of weeks ago. And I had everything ready to go. And I couldn't find a box.
Unreal.
So then I go to UPS. They have the box, but you have to buy the tape. And I wasn't doing that. So then I'd ask my mom, I said, do you have a box that fits this? And she goes, yeah, she just dropped it off yesterday. So Mike Johnson, he's our winner. I'm not skimping you on this. I'm going to get you an extra shirt just to be thankful for it. I'm going to put that in the mail today. But if we get it today, buddy, we might have something we don't even have to mail to you. Just get it right to you. Brian doesn't know what our giveaway is going to be.
No, I don't. No, I'm curious.
We'll see that. Come on, let's go. Grid, here we go. 9 minutes. Got to fill in every single person. I like on the first, we never look at this at a time. So I like initially some of the feel here. Yeah, some of the feel, I like it. I always like a statistical category. To go 5 for 5, we got to start 1 for 1. Go!
All right, 49ers, 5,000 career. I don't think Julio Jones has played for the Niners or Bengals, right?
Falcons. You said 49ers, but I give
All right,
Falcons.
excuse me, oh, Jesus Christ, Falcons.
You got it. You're good.
Is he officially retired?
Yeah, I don't think he's on a team.
Well, I know he's not on a
But I
team.
mean, he might just be hanging out. I don't think he's officially retired yet.
He'll be on the Browns postseason run.
Okay, so now the thing is, T.O., we can work for 49ers and Eagles.
Right, we could also go for Eagles. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey had to have 5,000.
Yeah, and he doesn't work for either of the other
right?
ones. Yeah, I mean, again, you would think, but yeah.
Playing 8 years.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of your Terrell Owens on. All right.
No, wait, we can use him for either one. We can use him for either one.
Did T.O. play for the Eagles?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. All right, finish out. Lions, 5,000 career receiving yards.
Calvin Johnson. Goat.
Okay. So let's knock out this Eagles. Johansson? Can you think of an Eagle 49er or Eagle Bengal quick? Because I'm going to just flip and put T.O. on the other one. T.O. played in both spots.
Right. Did Frank Gore ever play for the Eagles?
I don't think so. No.
Nick Foles ever played for the Niners?
Mm-mm. All right, A.J. McCarron, Carson Palmer, no. Andy Dalton, no.
Wait, what team is Andrew Whitworth on now? Not Andrew Whitworth. Kevin Zeitler. Did he go to the Packers?
No, but no, he's on the Lions. Right?
Yes,
he's on the Lions.
So we can go there.
Yeah, go there.
We could also went Marvin Jones, but
that's fine. Go Zeitler.
Right? The Lions?
1,000%.
And he played for the Bengals.
Yeah. He started his career. Yep. 1,000%. See, that's what I say about having these weeks in now. The new players that got to new places should loosen us up here a little bit.
Right.
So again, Bengals, Eagles. That's not Boomer, is it? No, I don't think Boomer sized and he played in Philly. I don't know.
There's got to be like an obvious one.
Well, again, we could always just flip and find a 49er Eagle. Other than T.O. We know T.O. works. We're just trying to flip in between one of these two here. I was going to say Deshaun Gibson, but I don't think he played in Philly. Just while you're there, 49ers, Falcons, Alex Mack, former Cleveland Brown.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Are you talking about him in Cleveland or either one of those spots?
I was just joking about him in Cleveland.
Yeah, go ahead. He's on the all-decade team for the center for
like
2010.
Buzz Lightyear.
Doesn't he a little bit? That's a good pull right there. He was the center on the all-decade team in 2010.
Yeah, dude, he's a dog.
That's pretty good. All right, we can move on.
Why can't I think of an Eagle 49er right now?
Shady McCoy never played in San Francisco, right?
No, I don't think so. Why am I just not
Jay Ajayi didn't play in San Francisco. There's a running back because, all the ones that they cycled through, not Raheem Mostert, not Jeff Wilson,
Brian Westbrook.
Yeah, but he went somewhere else. But I don't think it was Philly.
Okay.
Vernon Davis, no. Ted Ginn Jr., don't think so.
Sean Jackson didn't play in San Fran, did he?
Yeah, that's another good pull of Deshaun Jackson, but no.
Mark Sanchez, did he ever play in San Fran?
I don't think so.
Jeez.
All right, it's okay. Again, we have T.O., but we just got to flip. Does Marvin Jones not work for San Francisco Lions too? He does not. He didn't play in San Francisco. All right, let's focus in on that one for a second here.
Did Jeff Okudah play for San Fran, or am I just making that up?
I don't feel confident enough to rip that. I don't think so. I actually don't.
Did Adrian Peterson never played a year in San Fran?
No.
Did Frank Gore play in Detroit?
No. He went around, but he never went to Detroit. Tight ends, receivers. I almost want to say Dan Campbell, but I think he played for the Saints.
We're stalling.
It's okay. It's all right. We got time. It's okay. 49ers Lions. 49ers.
Sue never played for the 49ers, did he?
No, we always have to remember Ndamukong Suh, and we never do. That's a good point.
Kerryon Johnson, did he ever play for the 49ers?
I don't think so.
Oh.
All right, you want to go Falcons-Bengals for a second here?
Sure.
Is that not your guy?
That is my guy. That is indeed my guy.
That is Ryan's guy. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Did he not play for the Falcons?
The first picture is him in a Falcons uniform.
And did he?
And he played for the Bengals.
Right? I thought he did.
He played 2 years in Atlanta. And then he played for the Bengals.
Is that what it says?
You clicked on the wrong grid. You're in the middle one.
Oh, well.
All right, they give us the pass. You got to give it. You were just clicked on the wrong one. That's not our fault.
100%.
That's not our fault. That's not our fault. We're back. We're back.
So I'll just leave that blank.
That's fine.
We got
That's
this
fine.
one.
We're good. Okay.
So
Does not solve our other problems, though, in the other ones. Okay.
Darren Sproles, did he ever play for the Niners?
I like your poll, but I don't think so. Did Jeremiah Trotter go to the 49ers? Also, who was Brian Dawkins?
For what?
Just an Eagle play. I don't think he went to San Francisco, but I was trying to... Oh, man. Zach Ertz never played in either one of those spots, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Man.
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play in Philly.
They're probably getting roasted.
I know.
They don't understand it's hard in the moment, though.
Wait a minute. Jeff Garcia.
For which one?
Idiot.
For which one?
49ers, Falcons. 49ers, Eagles. 49ers, Eagles. Idiot.
Jeffrey Garcia?
Jeff Garcia, former Cleveland player. I'm talking to myself, you moron. Terrell Owens.
So we only need 2 more because we got this one.
Terrell Owens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so we only need 1
That's the
more.
other flip. Yeah, we just try to think about the other one that we didn't have.
I just wish for one day I could spell. Just one day.
There you go.
All right, so.
All right, just 49ers, Lions.
Okay.
49ers, Lions. Dan Orlovsky. Don't think so. And I'm like into backup quarterbacks, which is never like Nick Mullins. Don't think so.
Kicker, maybe? Did Fat Randy kick for the 49ers? Why do I think he did?
No, he didn't. What about Matt Prater?
Did he kick for the 49ers?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know he kicked in Detroit. We know that. I know he kicked in Denver. If we can't come up with anything, we might have to go Matt Prater.
Obviously, he kicked for the Lions.
I know, and I can't. The only other one would be to rip Josh Johnson, because I know he played in Detroit, and I feel like I remember him playing for the 49ers. The only other option we got, if we got to get down to the barrel. Colt McCoy didn't play in Detroit. Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't work here. Does Josh McCown work here? I don't think so. Michael Crabtree never went to Detroit, right? Don't think so. Brandon Marshall, I don't think so. We're at time.
Are you positive Jeff Okudah didn't play for the 49ers? I could completely be making that up.
Here's where I think Jeff Okudah, right? He was drafted in Detroit.
Atlanta.
It went bad.
Went to Atlanta.
He went to Atlanta.
And
Then he went to Houston.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I don't think he ever went out there.
Maybe you're right.
Here's a really shot in the dark.
Eric Ebron didn't play for 49ers.
What about Ray McLeod?
Did he ever play?
I know he played in San Francisco.
Yeah, for sure.
Detroit, Matt Breida. Of all those other backs they would run through there.
Carlos Hyde never played for...
I don't think he ever played in Detroit. I remember in Jacksonville and here. Golly. Dude.
We just got to rip something, I guess. Damn it.
I know. Might have to be Josh Johnson. I don't know. I feel better on that than Matt Prater, right? Yeah. I don't remember Matt Prater ever kicking. Mm-mm. I can't even think of any 49ers kicker. Robbie Gould was their kicker forever.
Did he ever kick in Detroit?
I don't think so. I kind
of like that more than Josh Johnson.
Okay. I don't, but
well, I mean,
I know there's got to be a.
Jerry Rice obviously never played.
No, that's the first person I thought too. Patrick Willis, no.
What?
No.
What?
Dion.
I don't know, Matt.
Right? No. Is it Dion?
Cue the music. I don't know. I don't know.
Atlanta. We know he played in Detroit.
Wait, you know you're talking about Deion Sanders?
Yeah.
Played in Detroit?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he played in...
I know he played in Atlanta.
Should I rip it?
Yeah. What?
The most popular answer for that was Jeff Garcia.
Go see everything else.
Man, that sucks.
49ers, Cowboys. I guess you're right. He didn't play in Detroit.
Lions, 49ers. Anquan Bolden. I know he played for the Lions.
Wouldn't have gotten
Ty Detmer.
Now.
Reggie Bush.
Wow.
Oh, we're going to get destroyed in the chat. I haven't even checked it yet. Gene Washington. I mean, that was one we could have gotten.
Yeah. I guess we have to do Wordle now. We are so late into the show. It's one of the biggest shows we've ever done, and here we are.
I know. Should we just not do Wordle?
What do you mean?
Then we got to do it quick.
Well, let's go. We got to go quick then. Let's get it quick. We got to go.
All right, I'm not a magician.
I'm not yelling at you.
All right, here we go. Quick, we got to rip something.
All right.
This is embarrassing.
Go.
It's not good for the brand.
Tease. Pat helped me. We aced it the other day. Does nothing for us.
No. I mean, elope.
No. I don't know. Try, bored? Is that too many words? Okay.
You feel anything?
Joke? Like Joke, and then, but the S and the D is gone.
You just try it.
Yeah.
We gotta move.
Okay.
Shoot.
Go. CO. Try CO. COME. I feel like this is going to end in a Y. I don't know why. I feel like this has got to end in a Y.
Is Comey a word?
I don't think so. Coney is Coney. Woo! Money, baby! Oh!
Was it honey? Was it honey? It was honey. It was honey. It was honey. It was honey. Oh, we're getting destroyed. John Kitna, Jesse Bates, Brian Westbrook, Eric Wright. Oh, no.
Mike goes, you guys are the Cowboys. You're the Dallas Cowboys of the grid.
That was a horrible look. That was a horrible look. That was an awful look. That was not a good look for the brand at all. Oh, no. Oh, no. Should we time hop and forget about it?
Yeah. We don't even have time. We probably shouldn't do timeout. We got to get to our plays.
It happens, man.
Not on a Monday.
Not on a victory Monday.
Not on a victory Monday. You're 100% right. All right, we run through quickly. Time up the 16th of September. The date, what do I got? We head on back. This day, 2019. We all remember this game. Monday Night Football. Browns destroy the Jets 23-3. That was one of Baker Mayfield's coming out games. 325 yards, touchdown, interception. Nick Chubb, a touchdown on the ground. You'll never get the starting quarterback for the Jets that day was Luke Falk. Le'Veon Bell, 68 yards. Robbie Chosen, the leading receiver for the Jets. Odell Beckham, 6 grabs, $161 and a touchdown for Odell Beckham Monday Night Football against the Jets. This day, 2018, though, we fall to the Saints. Was that not the game? Was that not the second game of the season?
When Antonio Callaway caught like a bomb?
Yeah, but then something freaky happened in the game with like a penalty. Carlos Hyde had a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor a touchdown interception. Hang on. Because it continued the streak. Remember, we tied in week 1 after we went 0-17 or 0-16, so we still hadn't won. Zane Gonzalez missed 2 extra points. There's an illegal contact penalty. There was something freaky in that game with an interception or I can't remember, but we followed the Saints this day, 2018. I remember this game vividly. Season of 2007. Browns-Bengals, 51-45. Derek Anderson and Carson Palmer combined for 11 touchdowns. It was the first time in NFL history that 2 starting quarterbacks each had 5 touchdown passes in a game. This day, 2007. This day, 1965. Singer David Jones changes his name so he would not be confused with the member of the group, the Monkees. David Jones changed his name to who?
No, that's a band.
The Monkees are a band. David Jones.
You missed my joke.
Oh, I didn't get it. What was the joke?
You said Who. It's a band.
Oh, The Who. Yeah, they're a great band. Amazing band. But David Jones changed his name to what? This day, 1965.
1965?
Yeah, David was his first name. He changed his last name to what?
David. Who were famous Davids?
Especially in the musical sense. Maybe the most famous David of all in music.
Really?
Yeah. He's up there, I think.
I'm choking.
The late, great Mr. David Bowie changed his name. So he was David Jones. There was a guy in the Monkees named David Jones, so he changed his name to David Bowie. You're working on some over there.
David Bowie.
You don't...
That's his name?
Why
does that not sound right to me?
That's the name that he went to. What do you mean? You not know who David Bowie is?
No, I know who David Bowie is. For some reason, it didn't sound right to me.
His name is his given name is Robert David Jones. Or I'm sorry, David Robert Jones. And he changed it to David Bowie.
I don't know. David just didn't sound right to me.
I guess it is what it is. This day, 1950, the Browns play their first ever NFL game. They were formerly of the AAFC, and they beat Philly 35-10. This day, 1950. This day, 1908, William Durant, head of Buick, took $2,000 out to create General Motors. My wife drives a GMC.
Who?
Durant. His name is William Durant.
Asked.
What?
Who asked? You said your wife drives a what?
A Terrain.
And I said who? Asked.
I'm missing it.
Who asked? Nobody asked what your wife drives.
I said he took $2,000 out to create General Motors.
Right, and then I said
my wife drives a Terrain. You go, who asked? You're just
no. I went who?
Oh,
and then as you started to speak, I said asked.
Oh,
because nobody asked what your wife drives.
I know, but I brought up GMC. That's the only GMC that I have in my house.
Okay,
there it is. It's my only connect to it.
My jokes aren't landing today.
I know. I'm just tilted from the grid, man. I'm so sad. This day, 1620, the Mayflower departed England.
Nice. I was there.
Yeah, we're there. I have Casey, my buddy Casey. His ancestors came along the Mayflower.
Likely story.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I just know that from stuff. Oh, man. Very happy birthday goes out to Elgin Baylor, Robin Yount, Oral Hershiser, Paul Shuey. A lot of good pitchers on there. MJ Stewart, David Copperfield, Nick Jonas, Amy Poehler, Parks and Rec over the office, Mickey Rourke, Ed Beagley Jr., Molly Shannon, and Flo Rida. You don't understand how big Apple Bottom Jeans were.
Sure I do.
For that song back in the day with Flo Rida. I have an obscene list of TV shows. I have 6. We don't have time. Do you want to try?
Rip them real quick. If I don't get it in like 5 seconds. It's
2002, bald-headed guy tries to solve people's problems.
What?
A bald-headed guy tries to solve
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, 2002. Next up, 1999. A lot of people are put into a house and they got to live together.
Big Brother.
That is correct. Next up, this day, 1996. A woman. We sometimes play lawyer on this show. Well, she does it on TV, and she judge, jury, and execution.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy's correct. This day, 1993. A spinoff of the TV show Cheers.
Frasier.
That is correct. Next up, 1984. This television show had a really cool car in it. Part of the name of this TV show has to do with a version of Grand Theft Auto.
What?
One of the versions of Grand Theft Auto.
Like one of the games?
Yeah, was
like
named what?
Vice City? Miami Vice?
Correct. 1984. Next. Final one. Legendary comedian had his own TV show that debuted this day.
George Carlin.
1972. No, I'm pretty sure I'm shooting from the hip on this, but I think it's right. The movie or the TV show always ended with him laying in bed with his wife.
Larry something?
No.
David something?
No. It's an American sitcom. He plays a psychologist whose interactions with his wife, friends, patients, and colleagues lead to humorous situations and dialogue. The show was filmed for a live audience. His wife was Emily. He was the old elf in Elf.
Old elf and elf? I didn't know there was an old elf and elf. I don't know.
Bob Newhart show. Never gotten that. Bob Newhart show. You never seen the Bob Newhart show?
No, I'm not
All
100
right.
years
I will
old.
send the bracket out for the best villain in movie history. We got to get to that coming up, but we can go no further till tonight, Ryan. Monday Night Football. Chiefs, Eagles. Chiefs,
No.
Eagles. Falcons, Eagles.
Yes.
A battle of the birds. Caw-caw.
Don't do that.
Caw-caw. I don't even know the line. I didn't even pull it up yet. Now I got to update Bet365. You got to be pissed.
Whoa.
What's the line?
The line is Philadelphia 5.5.
7. Oh, I was going to say Philly.
Well, I want to go Philly 5.5, so I will go Atlanta 5.5 because I'm always wrong.
Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, 7-4 against the spread in his career against the Eagles. That's the best against any opponent, including a 4-3 against the spread in Philly. Jalen Hurts, though, 17-9-1 against the spread at home in his career since he was drafted. He's the third most profitable home quarterback against the spread in that stretch. As a home favorite, Hurts is 18-2 straight up in his career, and he is 7-0 straight up as a home favorite in the months of September and October, winning by an average of 11.3 points per game. Will differ. I'll take Philly in this one. Guards minus a run and a half. Oh, they smoked the Twins tonight. Let's get it done. Appreciate you joining us today. I think the biggest show we've ever done.
I think so.
The biggest show we've ever done. Victory Monday. Enjoy the hell out of it for the Browns. We're back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Don't forget, Big Play Cleveland show tonight. Big guest. All of our stuff is on the app. Get involved as well for our tailgate giveaway for Sunday. I'll remind people of that. We'll talk to you 9 a.m. tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.